Good morning. We are ready to dive into creativity and release that stress from COVID-19. This morning, we are jumping around a little bit. I know this is a read along, but if you have the book at home or are with us, it's page 171. It's a creativity break, make a stuffy fluffy. So there are specific directions in the book. Here you go. So let me just go over some of the materials you should have this morning. You should have some paper and some markers and pens. You should have a sweater that you want to upcycle, embellish maybe the hair, things like that. I have my polyfill, my stuffing. I have scraps to use. You can also use felt for the eyes, the nose, the mouth, or anything you want to decorate. If it's an alien, that's okay too. To have kind of maybe these rounded kind of ears, kind of like that design, and some squiggly lines. I don't really have to worry about the eyes and nose right now because that could be later on embellishing. Take your paper scissors, not your fabric scissors, and just roughly, loosely cut around the shape. Okay, cut around the shape. And you can do this as fast or quick. And you can put the video on pause if you're up. Okay, throw those scraps away and place the design on your sweater. Okay. So when we are done with that, we want to be able to trace around the sweater design. So I think sometimes we worry about what we're going to use, or when we're cutting, you're not really going to see it unless you use like a dark marker, but maybe something that complements the color of your sweater. I'm going to use a red and I'm going to go around right the shape just to trace it quickly. And when I take it off, I probably could see it. It's not as loud, but it's just a faint line. So we want to come up, we want to make sure that our sweater is flat. Like I said, both back and front are being cut together. Okay, don't worry. Learning is messy. It's okay if you don't cut exactly. Now here I can get a little, make straight lines, zigzag lines, curvy lines. They're all so much fun, right? We're cutting around that stuffy, fluffy outline, okay? And just like that, it goes pretty quickly if you have, like I said, the right scissors. Now, let's kind of clean up our workspace, and we'll put this off to the side. Now, here's the interesting thing. Because we're working with the face of the stuffy fluffy, we want to take this part out, move the bottom to the side. Okay, now we could have fun. We're going to add eyes, a nose. I love all these different scraps, and I'm going to be a little creative in doing what I need to do. I think I'll use this. Okay, now that you have glued down some of the fun things you want to do with it, it's ready to sew them in place. And of course, I thread the needle. If you need adult help, please go ask for it at this time. You're making a knot at the bottom. You start from the bottom and you put it through the sweater and the fabric. You pull it up. Now, sometimes it might give you a little hard time because it is kind of squishy whooshy, and it's not so tough, which is okay. But once you get started, then you can make it work. All right, and the thicker the thread, you can also do like a running stitch. You go in and out, and because I'm using a very light thread, you're not really able to see it come through, which is fine. And you just want to hold that piece of fabric in place. It doesn't go anywhere for years to come. You could turn it around and go the other way. And it's kind of fun. It's not too difficult. This is not a very sharp needle, like I said. It was like almost like a basting, a mending type of needle. Not very sharp at all. When you're done, you want to go through, like again, it's a very loose stitch. As long as you go through and make a knot, tie it, and then we could cut it. And then we're going to do the other one. Start again, make a knot at the bottom, and come up and down into the fabric, up and down, up and down. Do a simple running stitch through it, so just to hold it down. Okay, I'm going to continue doing that on all the pieces. All right, we're ready to add some more detail to our Stuffy Fluffy. So how about some hair? I'm thinking little long hair, draping it up and down, around. We just want to place it where we want to place it around our figure. Maybe we want it to loop. Go ahead. Okay. Make some fun hair. My other Stuffy Fluffy had very short hair, but this one I want some long hair this time. We want to take that and find some place where we know the edge just came to an end, and we're going to again sew it right there. Maybe I'll have a piece right there, I'll sew it, maybe right here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so here we are. We've embellished our face. I've given it a little bit of haircut, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I could put it up in little pigtails. But we are ready to attach it to the back. So we just want to lay it right on top. Make sure our ends are even with each other. And because the hair is in the way, I'm going to bring the hair to the middle, just temporarily, because we are going to stitch all around the sweater, okay, all around the sides of our Stuffy Fluffy. Okay, so I grabbed some embroidery floss. It's a little thicker than the regular thread. If you don't have this, it's okay. You can use this, probably double it, and then use the embroidery floss over it. But what I want to show you is the whip stitch. So you're going to come inside of like sandwiched between, and come up and go into the top, and then you're going to pull. You have a knot at the bottom, and so you see how you cannot see the tail. The tail is kind of hidden inside like a sandwich, and you're going to go from the bottom to the top, bottom to the top, and it just kind of whips around, right? Look at that. So stay as close as you can, not too close, but always look at your ends, kind of match them up, these two pieces, right? Kind of makes like a mouth. As you're sewing the whip stitch all the way around, remember that you want, I'm almost at the end, see here, you can see, but I don't want to close it all the way up. I want to leave enough room so I can get that polyfill or the fabric fill or any kind of stuffing that you have at home to fit in through. So I think that's enough of an opening. I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to leave my thread in the needle. It doesn't matter. I still like cover up the face. So we want to take, whether it's batting, I have some extra batting that I used for quilting. We have that. I also have polyfill here. Grab some of that. And again, you want to just slowly and carefully push that through. Of course, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the needle through just the top layer and hold it there so it doesn't interfere with what I'm doing. All right, so that's not a good spot, maybe up further. So we want to take that stuffing and push it through. Push it through. All right, do that until it's all filled. We'll see you in a minute. Okay. All right, if you've made any ears, remember you want to take that polyfill and you want to make sure that you reach all the way up and into those top of the ears. You want to make sure there's stuffing all the way up there as well. So because it's great, because it's a sweater, it will stretch and you can kind of push it and make it go all the way in there like that. So of course, you know, check and see how much more stuffing you need, you know, and see where you're at in terms of that. I think I have just a little bit more. Now, before we close it up, remember we are releasing our worries to the Stuffy Fluffy today, and I'm going to fix that hair later on. But before we're going to stitch it up, right, we want to put in some of our worries. So let's take out some paper and write down what's worrying us. Or maybe just a small sheet of paper, maybe just a small strip. Anything we're worried, anything we want to say that worries us, we'll put that down. Okay, so I'm going to write my stuff, and I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to blow it away and put it in to the Stuffy Fluffy. It's going to hide in there. It's going to keep my worries there so I don't have to think about it. Okay, so we're going to take our, now that we're ready to close it up, again, we are still working the whip stitch, going from the back to the front, whipping it like a whip back to the front. We're going to start to see it close up. Okay, bye-bye worries. They're in the Stuffy Fluffy. They're not on our minds anymore. We've released them. Okay. And I think we have just a little bit left, right? See how much? There's a little opening. So we want to pinch it closed like lips, right? Where are we? We're over here. We're whipping it from the back to the front, back to the front. Okay. And we're going to close it up. I remember my grandmother showing me how to close up a stitch. So when you are going around and you want to end it, you see there's this little loop. It makes like a little loop. You want to put the needle through the loop, right? And it almost makes like a knot. And you want to do that one more time. Come around, hold the loop open. Hold the loop open. Of course, it's twisting because I've been going around and around. And put it through the hole and pull it. And it'll make a nice knot, nice and tight. And then we'll snip it off. We are done with the Stuffy Fluffy. And of course, we could give it a haircut if we want. Give it a haircut. I think we want to make it a little haircut. Maybe up here we want to make a hair. We'll see. Whoops. That's longer. I think he has a friend. He has a friend today. All right, thank you so much for making our Stuffy Fluffy this Sunday morning. Everybody have a great day. It's awesome. We'll see you next time.